Welcome to
Midnight Circle,
From your friends at House of Whimsical Terror.
a chat about curious topics.
And this week's topic is pirates, phantoms, and a yo-ho, yo-ho.
A pirate's life for me.
Yes.
Yes.
We have actually been fascinated with pirates for a very, very long time.
It's true.
Yes.
Who wouldn't be fascinated
Exactly.
with pirates?
But I remember like way back in the day,
Yeah.
Catalina de Osauro,
Yeah.
and Bonnie.
And Bunny, Mary Reed.
Mary Reed. Why
Mary
did I...
Reed.
Oof.
Yeah. All the
I
pirates.
didn't look up Mary Reed for this.
Yeah. And today we have some other
Some ghostly pirate yumminess.
ghost pirates. And we're going to start with one of my favorite pirates.
Yes.
Which, well, I'll tell you that after.
We have a phantom in the room that dresses very well like a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's true. Silent.
A silent phantom.
Silent phantom.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
We have someone very special in the room with us, but you probably won't hear from her.
No. But you never know. You never know. All right. So in 1996.
Not too long ago.
Not that long ago. A shipwreck was discovered in 28 feet of water, about 1 mile offshore of Atlantic Beach in North Carolina. Amidst the 30 cannons encrusted with coral and barnacles were the remains of Queen Anne's Revenge, the pirate ship of Edward Teach, also known as Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
So Blackbeard died in 1718 at the hands of Lieutenant John Maynard, who was sent to kill him by the governor of Virginia, Alexander Spottiswoode. Because that's like a great name.
It is a great name.
Isn't it?
Alexander Spottiswoode sounds like someone who would have been, the governor of Virginia.
Alex Spottiswoode. It's like a secret agent name or something. It's
Yes.
so great. It was said his head, Blackbeard's, was placed on a pike at the bow of Maynard's ship until it rotted and dropped off. It seems that Blackbeard's pillaging of ships from the Caribbean to the Carolinas was a death warrant for him. He was known to tie fuses into his beard and light them before a battle in order to menace his foes. But mostly he just looked like a demon.
Okay, he couldn't have had that many battles then, because if you're lighting your beard every battle...
No, it's relating to fuses that he tied into his beard.
Oh, so they didn't actually hit his beard.
No.
Oh, I'm glad you explained that to me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Often he would anchor his ships in a place that came to be known as Teach's Hole on Ocracoke Island to rest and renew before his crew had to take another run.
Interesting.
So it is said that if you're on Ocracoke, you can glimpse his ghost, which appears in a shimmering light all about the island. And you may perhaps even hear his call for his missing head.
Ooh.
Yeah. So there's some speculation that Blackbeard himself never actually killed anyone.
And you know what this tells me in all, so many of the other Midnight Circles that we've had, is that if you separate someone's head from their body, you're pretty much guaranteeing some sort of terrible ghost.
Yeah.
Apparition.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of headless ghosts.
There are. An inordinate amount.
That's true. We could do an entire Midnight Circle on headless ghosts.
Yeah.
We may. We actually may.
Okay, this next part, you found some really interesting information. I did not know that this was even a thing. So in July of 2016, an Irish woman named Amanda Teague, I hope I pronounced that right, took a small boat out to sea and married her 300-year-old ghost lover.
Yeah.
Jack Teague.
Yeah.
A Haitian pirate. She met Jack when she began sensing his presence in 2010 in the middle of meditation. She began talking with the spirit, and after a few months, she identified that he was indeed the spirit of a pirate. The best kind.
Yeah.
She told stories of how she would go with him into Dublin and for romantic getaways and asked a medium to channel him to ask for him to marry her.
Mm-hmm.
Jack said yes, and they were tied in a hand-fasting ritual. And I'm wondering why she couldn't ask him herself.
Right?
Yeah.
I know, because she communicated with him.
Right, because for this next part, I imagine
Right, but
they didn't have the medium there the whole time, because that'd be really creepy.
Super weird,
for the medium,
right?
because
there are other issues with this story, but it's legit.
Yes, and she said they had really
great sex.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
that was like a big thing in her article.
They do that if they needed a medium to...
Right? And she got a lot of press. Like this was 2016. It wasn't that long ago.
Right.
So, but she got a lot of press. Washington Post interviewed her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was like a big part of the draw, I guess, was like the hot sex. So, and there was that, but I'm sure they were talking to each other. So I don't know why she had to introduce this medium part, but
yeah. But regardless of the hot sex, it was not a perfect union, Mary.
No.
Nope. And Amanda began to get sick after 2 weeks, blaming her illness on Jack. Yeah. So when you first gave this information to me, I thought she might be pregnant.
No.
Because after 2 weeks, I'm like, no. Okay.
No, she was just mad.
She was just sick.
Sick and then angry.
She confronted him and said he was threatening her when she asked for a divorce.
Yeah,
because she could STI from the ghost.
I don't know.
Ghost
That's such a good question. They didn't go into that in the materials I researched.
This is so funny. Amanda then realized Jack was indeed a treacherous spirit and had a shaman perform a ceremony.
Yeah.
The shaman performed a ceremony to depossess her. That was the last she heard from Jack. Hers was not the first ghost marriage and is unlikely to be the last. There are many stories to be found if you are looking.
So of course I was looking.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you were.
Of course I was. So I guess in China, like all the way back to like 206 BC or something, some ridiculously long time.
The Han Dynasty, I think.
Yeah, the Han Dynasty. So there were ghost marriages. So if you were deceased and a bachelor, didn't say anything. I don't recall it saying anything about bachelorettes, and they didn't really want you hanging around, so they would find you a female to marry to keep you company in the afterlife.
Oh, that's crazy. So she can never get married like in real life?
If you just, I guess if you don't get married in real life, and then they just make sure you have it in death, so they don't want you hanging out harassing your relatives in the ghostly form.
Oh yeah, so keep yourself entertained with your
yes.
Ghost
but back to this Jack Teague, Amanda Teague thing,
yes,
which I'm hoping as well that's the correct pronunciation. But she got a lot of press and a lot of interviews and stuff on this, so I mean it was like a huge deal, right? And I'm thinking this is a Haitian pirate ghost,
right,
with the name Jack Teague, which to me would be your first clue. And then she can talk to her, but then she can't talk to her. There's a lot of inconsistencies here.
Right,
I'm not saying that it isn't possible. I'm just saying
it's improbable.
Correct.
Still fascinating.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a crush on Molière, who, is a playwright from,
Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't? I mean, like, right?
Yeah, just, I would look at, like, pictures of him, and I would think, oh, my gosh, he's so beautiful. And I would marry him.
Yeah, and then I wonder if the Washington Post or somebody would have interviewed you. Well, now we have, YouTube. You could be an influencer.
But it's illegal in the U.S. to marry a ghost.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's called something. Necromony. Necromony?
Something, yeah.
Something. It's illegal, people. Just don't do it.
Well, it's not illegal everywhere. It's illegal here. But
yeah, but not in Ireland, apparently.
Well, no, maybe. I don't think she had a legal marriage in Ireland.
Oh, no, that's
she
right.
had a hand fasting.
Yeah, it wasn't legal.
It wasn't legal, but it was definitely binding.
Yes, apparently.
And then she regretted her decision.
Mm-hmm. As one does.
Oh, you know,
Occasionally. If your ghost is, you get married to a ghost pirate. I would think that's a really, kind of sketchy thing.
very sketch.
Yeah, like you never know what's going to happen.
No, but
Right.
back to pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that in New Jersey, we could find the Spy House, once owned by Daniel Seabrook?
Mm.
He was a sympathizer to the colonist cause during the Revolutionary War.
Mm-hmm.
He was concerned that his home would be set afire by the British, so he converted it into an inn for British soldiers. Yet the clever Mr. Seabrook made sure upstairs was available to colonist spies to eavesdrop on the soldiers below, and
So
thus
clever.
the
That's
Spy
clever.
House was born. In the 1800s, a pirate captain named Morgan, not the Henry Morgan of the 1600s, to be clear, kidnapped a family. So the 1800s guy kidnapped a family and held them hostage to collect a ransom. The money didn't come, and he killed them all in the house because he's a freaking monster.
Truly.
There are thought to be over 20 ghosts that occupy the Spy House today. Captain Morgan, his first mate, and the family they killed among them. It is one of the most haunted locations in the state.
Exactly. And I immediately wanted to go there.
Yes. You and me both.
Yeah.
We tried to find something on Grace O'Malley or Grania Whale, if you will. But there's no...
No, I couldn't find. There aren't any female ghosted pirates.
Yes, you'd think the Pirate Queen would have...
Perhaps
But
we need to do more in-depth research. I don't know.
No.
I would think she would have.
You would.
Yeah.
And that's the one I looked for specifically because I've visited 2 of her homes.
Right.
I want to visit all of them. When we go back to Ireland, let's do that.
I think we should.
Anne Bonny.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing. So, in Charleston, people have said that they've seen her in places such as the Powder Magazine and the Pink House.
Oh.
So if you want to find Anne Bonny.
And you're in Charleston.
And you're in Charleston, or you go to Charleston.
Yeah.
You look for her in those 2 places.
Yeah.
I'd be up for a trip to Charleston to look for Anne Bonny.
Oh, absolutely. I would too. Charleston must be crawling with pirate ghosts.
Right,
it just has to be.
Yes.
We need to go.
Yeah, that's true. You'd think that, yeah.
Right? So, if you want to meet some pirate ghosts, go to Charleston. No. If you want to meet some pirate ghosts, you don't even have to go to the sea. And there are more than a few to be found on land. And sometimes they may even come looking for you.
Apparently.
That's all we have for today. So, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.